you a favor. This is how you choose to repay me. My dear, don't make me angry.
Hey, mahal everyone. Welcome back again to the Broadway Saiyan YouTube channel. I am your host 40, and guys, we have a video on Dissidia Opera Omnia. This one is actually going to be focused mainly on the JP version of the game, although I will be mentioning some things about Global, but it is about a specific character who is very near and dear to my heart. My ultimate waifu, my favorite character in all of Final Fantasy, SHANTOTTO, has finally lividly awoken. So if you guys are playing the JP version of the game, you know that level 70 just recently came out a few days ago, and SHANTOTTO was amongst the 6 characters that were chosen to receive level 70, and on top of that, she got her buffs or her rework to the way that she played. So I'm super excited about that because it definitely boosted her usability and made her a whole lot better compared to how she was even at level 60. So we're gonna go ahead and just take a look at those changes, and then afterwards, towards the end of the discussion, I'm gonna be showing you guys some gameplay on my JP account of exactly what she got. So SHANTOTTO has finally lividly awoken. So the first thing we're gonna look at is SHANTOTTO before level 70. So before level 70, SHANTOTTO's damage revolved around taking damage, and I feel like that hurt her usability because she essentially goes into this state called play rough or rage or whatever you want to call it, livid SHANTOTTO, right? So when she takes damage, brave damage or HP damage, she goes into play rough, and her 2 abilities, Spirit Magic Arrow and Dark Magic Bio, essentially become better versions. Now that's cool and all, but the fact that she needed to take damage, I felt like really hurt her usability because if you look at SHANTOTTO's base stats, her HP and her defense are actually on the low side. So it's one of those things where it's like, why would you want her to take damage in the first place just to be able to get better when there's characters currently available that don't need that already do an amazing amount of damage? So for example, on the global side, we have Kuja, we have Sephiroth, we have Saz, we have King. You know, so there's characters like that where they don't even need to do anything like that, whereas SHANTOTTO has to have that requirement, which again hurt her usability. SHANTOTTO was of the slow speed tier. Now this is something that doesn't even change at level 70, but her being slow meaning that she would likely take her turn last, which for me as a DPS unit, I kind of felt like that hurt her. Now, also, she has an odd role as a Provoker. So again, we mentioned before, low stats when it comes to defense and HP. Now, being a Provoker requires her to have that Devil's Laughter crystal passive level 50. So what this does is that whenever she attacks an enemy with one of her abilities, she'll provoke them for 1 turn, meaning that that enemy is going to be targeting her. I understand the reasoning behind this because it allows her to get into her play rough mode a little bit easier since she's being targeted, but still low defense and low HP, so why would you want that in the first place? And then most characters now have a brave plus HP ability, meaning that they deal brave damage and then they deal HP damage at the end. SHANTOTTO was given this recently in global at level 60 for her Dark Magic Bio, but it needs to be the play rough version, which again, I didn't understand why she needed to be in that state. I kind of felt like maybe her Dark Magic Bio could have been her brave plus HP, and because of all these things, she was definitely benched. Even when she gets her EX, back then when she got her EX weapon in Japan, where she gets her Divine Malison, where she essentially imperils 4 different elements, which is amazing, but even with that, she was definitely benched. And even characters in Japan, the Japan version of the game that didn't even have EX weapons, but at least got their level 60, definitely overshadowed SHANTOTTO. So she was definitely not really an option for events that came out in JP. So I didn't understand the reasoning behind it because the lore behind the character is that she was an incredibly powerful black mage. In Final Fantasy XI, she was a war hero. She's a bit arrogant. We all know she is. She laughs at everything. She generally does not take her enemies seriously. She's usually holding back, which is maybe I can see that as the reason why they designed her that way. But still, it was kind of like, why would they do this to this character? So, but now, after level 70, SHANTOTTO, I feel like, finally got what she deserved, at least within Opera Omnia. So in the JP version of Opera Omnia, again, she is the first of 6 characters to receive a level 70. So she can go to level 70 now in the JP version of the game. Another thing that she got is she automatically starts in that play rough mode at the start of battle. So her play rough mode, or essentially her livid mode, because the icon is essentially livid SHANTOTTO, is going to be above her, and it starts at the beginning of the battle, and it lasts for 5 turns. So her abilities are already in their play rough state, which is amazing because that's what she needs to be able to deal that massive amount of damage. She can refresh that play rough via Brave Attack Plus or HP Attack Plus, and she gets Brave Attack Plus or HP Attack Plus when she uses her abilities. So her ability, Spirit Magic Arrow and Dark Magic Bio, did receive some massive upgrades via her Crystal Passive level 55 and Crystal Passive level 60 on the JP version of the game. So we're gonna go ahead and go over that quickly. So Spirit Magic Arrow Extend now increases the usage of her Spirit Magic Arrow by 1. And then whenever she uses either Spirit Magic Arrow or Play Rough Arrow, it raises its potency, meaning it deals more damage. It now inflicts something called Cursed Gaze for 3 turns. And Cursed Gaze is a debuff that lowers defense, and the enemy takes Brave damage every turn. So that's amazing. It also extends the duration of the max Brave up that she gives to herself by 1 turn, meaning that she gets to deal more HP damage. It triggers an HP attack after each use, and then whenever she's using Rage Arrow is now a 5-hit Wind Elemental Brave plus HP attack that hits twice. So she's hitting twice, so she's dealing essentially 10 Wind Elemental Brave magic damage, and then she deals an HP attack at each one per 5 hit that she does. So that is amazing. She also raises the Brave damage dealt to targets afflicted with that Cursed Gaze debuff, and then she also moderately raises the potency of that max Brave up that she gives to herself. So that is insane when she's in her Play Rough mode. Now, Dark Magic Bio Extend now does this. So it turns her Brave Attack into Brave Attack Plus, and her Brave Attack Plus now has the following effects. So her Brave Attack Plus is now a 2-hit Wind Elemental Magic attack. It also has a damage increase on the Brave damage it deals, and whenever you use it, it extends that Rage mode by 3 turns. So that Rage mode is definitely something that you want to be able to keep on Shantotto every single time if you decide to use her on the current JP version of the game, because you want her to be able to deal those additional hits, that additional damage. On top of that, when you use Dark Magic Bio, it increases the number of hits to 5. So before it would just be 1 hit, but now it's 5 hits. It also increases the damage again. It also does inflict that Cursed Gaze, just like Spirit Magic Arrow and Rage Arrow. It triggers an HP attack after use, and it also increases the Brave damage dealt to targets afflicted with Cursed Gaze when you're using the Play Rough version of it. She has that Brave Overflow mechanic of up to 150% of her max Brave. It further increases the success rate of inflicting that Poison debuff, and also it changes her HP attack now too into HP Attack Plus, where HP Attack Plus now raises her Brave based on her max Brave before she inflicts an HP attack, and this also extends her Rage mode by 3 turns. So she has gotten an amazing upgrade in the JP version of the game, which I'm very excited for that, because we know that she's going to be getting this too eventually in the global version of the game. To top it off, since she is going to be getting level 70, some of the things that she did get at level 70 is at level 65, she gets a new skill called Weak Damage Up, where she self-buffs herself an increased damage to whatever the enemy is weak to. Small amount for 2 actions. At level 68, she gets something called Radiant Destruction and Power, which increases her own max Brave and attack by small amount, so very good. And then at Awakening Crystal level 70, she gets something called Weak Damage Up Extend, which is whenever she uses an ability that the enemy is weak to, it further increases that. It also adds a max Brave Overflow small effect. So very powerful. I'm very happy for what they did to her. Kind of wish that they upgraded her EX ability, because from playtesting her on my JP version, because I recently pulled her EX weapon, I feel like her standard abilities are actually better than her EX ability. But what's cool about her EX ability is that it fairly charges fast, so that's pretty cool. Now, my overall thoughts, without being super biased with the character, are: is Shantotto, did she live up to the hype after getting her level 70? I feel like she did. I do feel like she's still not the best character out there. There are characters in the JP version of the game that are better than her currently, such as Vayne, because Vayne is insane with his second ability, being able to just automatically break and the enemy, even though they're already broken. Sarah is an amazing debuffer, and I still think that she's better than Shantotto, even if Shantotto has level 70. And then Rinoa, we all know that Rinoa deals that massive damage. She can save her ability. She can essentially cycle through her abilities and her regular abilities whenever she's in her Angel Wings mode. So I still feel like those characters are better than Shantotto. But overall, I'm very happy with what Shantotto got. I personally cannot wait until the global version of Shantotto gets this. But I'm happy that at least on the JP side, I get to enjoy her. And you guys know what's coming up. Gameplay from my JP account. Let's go ahead and take a look at this Shantotto now that JP has, so you Shantotto fans can get hyped when she finally gets this upgrade in the global version of the game. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Alrighty guys, here we are with some gameplay from my JP version of Dissidia Opera Omnia. Again, we are going to take my newly awakened Shantotto. She is at level 70. Right now, I was only able to get her up to Crystal Passive level 65, so we're still missing some of the other ones because the tier 5 crystals are not, right now they don't give enough to be able to get a character to level 70. Eventually they will, but this is what I have on her. I do have her 90 CP armor, which is something that we still have yet to see in global, which will be pretty exciting, so then that way we have more CP to play around with. And I do have her EX weapon equipped, as well as the passives from her 15 and 35 CP weapon. But we're going to go ahead and take Shantotto here. We're going to see what she can do. So we're taking her on a crystal quest here. And as you could see right there, you could see that she has that icon. So that is essentially it's the Livid Shantotto icon, which allows her to stay in her play rough mode. So she starts off with this, and she's now in it for 5 turns. So we're going to go ahead and just massacre everything here in sight. So that is her Dark Magic bio now, so it's 5 hits, and it deals an HP attack. And we're going to go ahead and use her Spirit Magic Arrow, or Rage Arrow now. And then let's go ahead and do that again. And as you noticed, when I used her Dark Magic, or her Dark Magic bio, or Play Rough bio, it changed her Brave attack and her HP attack into the plus versions. Alright, so we have her EX available, but I do want to show off her other ability now. So this is where she increases the amount of damage that she deals as far as if the enemy is weak to their specific weakness. And what's cool about those abilities is that they don't take a turn, and it automatically allows you to take another action. So it's kind of like Renoa's Angel Wings. Alright, so we are going to actually, I'm going to show you her EX here, because I know in Global we don't have this yet. But her EX, essentially, it inflicts 4 different elemental imperils. Okay, so I've been broken, but that's perfectly fine. Alright, so what I'm going to go ahead and do now is, let's actually take a look at, we're going to go with her Play Rough Arrow again. And we're going to go ahead, and what I'm going to do this time is use her Brave Attack Plus, so then that way I can refresh the amount of turns that my Rage mode is in, or my Play Rough mode is in, and let's take a look at her HP Attack Plus. There we go. So I like to cycle that in between whenever I'm using her, because I want to make sure that I have her Rage mode available, because it's very, very important that she has that. So then that way you're taking advantage of the amount of damage that she's dealing. Okay. And something to mention is that her Dark Magic bio and her Play Rough bio do have a low action delay, so that's why I'm able to take my turn again. Alright, so that is the new Shantotto on the JP version of the game. Again, guys, I'm very happy, very excited that she finally got the awakening, the buffs that she deserved. Now, on the JP version of the game at least, I can actually use her for other quests and other events because she is a very powerful damage-dealing unit. So hopefully you guys, especially you Shantotto fans, are happy with this, and I'm definitely looking forward to when Global gets these upgrades for Shantotto eventually. So, alright guys, I am 40 the Broadway Saiyan. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for the next one, and mahal everyone.